Welcome to this lesson. Here on my table, I have bean seeds. I have got rice seeds, which I have actually picked from my home. And at the same time, I have the sawdust, which I have picked from my neighbor's carpentry. Why have I brought them here? I have brought them here to show you the materials from our environment which we can use to enhance the learning and teaching process, especially for the special needs learners. Who are these? We have the deaf, we have the blind, we have those with mental challenges, and we have those with specific learning difficulties. For example, those with spelling errors, they can't spell a word 2 times. We have those, they write some letters like numbers. They write 9 as P, so somebody can't write the word pot because P has written it in form of 9. And when we use the objects from the environment, it will bring out the real object and the name. So these materials from our environment, one, they are readily available, they are affordable, and at the same time, they enhance the learning and teaching process. These materials we are having here, we can use them creatively to make materials which can enhance the teaching and learning process. The child can touch, can feel, and can play with them. Even if the learner destroys them, no problem with it, because it means that the learning is taking place. We can use these objects to make our own teaching and learning materials. What do we need? One, background surface, such as manila like this. We can use a manila like this. 2, a box like this, or you can get a hardboard. Then at the same time, we need cutting tools. Cutting tools such as a knife, you can get it from home. We can get a pair of scissors like mine here. We can use a cutter like this, or you can get a razor blade. Then we have binding substance, such as I have my cassava porridge here, which is a good binder. Then you can use glue if you can afford from any shop nearby. Then we have coloring materials. Color enhances the sense of sight and it brings interest to the learner. Once something is colored well, the child will get interested in that particular content. Such as we have colored papers, we can have different colors. We have yellow here, we can have another colored paper, we can have another colored papers with different colors. You can get other materials from the environment, such as we can have leaves, you can have paint, you can have markers if you can afford to buy them. Take an example, if you have a box like this one here, you can cut different materials, different shapes, like a circle, like a square, like a pentagon, like a rectangle. Then what you need to do, you color them to bring the interest to the learners. Then after you color them to bring the interest to the learners. Like this circle, you can see the color is red, which is very attractive. The learner can play with it, can even throw it somewhere to bring the interest to the learner. Texture. We can use any object to create texture, and this texture will stimulate the sense of touch. For example, I have here a rectangle. This rectangle, I created a texture on a paper using a sawdust. It is very attractive, whereby the child can even touch and feel every letter. Then I have here a map of Uganda. This map of Uganda, I have just cut it from a hard box, and whereby the child can trace it and even draw it in the book. So this is far better than just drawing it on a piece of paper. The child will just hold the map of Uganda, take it anywhere, trace it anywhere using the hard box. Sound. We can use any object to provide sound in our teaching and learning process. Why do we use different sounds? We use different sounds to know whether the child's both ears can hear very well. For example, rubbing. So you may use this method by rubbing on the left ear to know whether the child will detect the direction where you have hit these materials from. And then you use it on a different ear direction, and then you see whether the child will try to detect that. Then another thing about sound, we can use drums. You drum from far, and then you see whether the child can detect that's where the sound comes from. You drum it near, then to see whether the child can detect where the sound comes from. Then about the sound still, we have different animals. They sound in different ways. The way how a cat sounds is not the way how a dog barks. So what does it mean? That can a child differentiate between a dog and a cat? Then if a child can do that, then it means that the child can hear very well. If a child cannot differentiate the direction of where the sound comes from, then it means that the child needs an extra care. Precaution. When handling learners with special needs, we need to take care of them. For example, we have been using the sharp objects like a razor blade, a pair of scissors like this, a cutter like this, and some of these children, they need to know that these objects they cut, they are not supposed to lick them, they are not supposed to bite them, they are not supposed to use them out of your control. So what it means, you need to take care of them seriously. Then secondly, we have learners with low vision. They will need to put these materials near their eyes so that they can see them clearly, of which some of them, as I have told you, they do cut.